Hello, good morning. My name is Debi Willis, and I'm the CEO of PatientLink. But more importantly to me, I'm a wife, a mother, a daughter of a brilliant woman who now has Alzheimer's, the sister of an amazing woman who died of brain cancer, and I'm a cancer survivor. And I'm here because I believe in the power of collaboration to solve problems. We were the first place winner in the Consumer Health Data Aggregator Challenge Phase 2. It was pretty thrilling for us. So first I want to tell you why we built MyLinks and why we entered the contest. It really started years ago with doctors getting electronic medical records. They needed data to take better care of their patients, but they didn't want to type all that data in. That was just too much of a burden. And so my company, PatientLink, built software to take data from a patient and send it into the EHR. And now the physician could really focus on the patient and take better care of the patient. But then I became a caregiver for my mom with Alzheimer's, and I needed her data to take better care of her. And then I was diagnosed with kidney cancer, and I needed copies of all my records. So that was not an easy task. If any of you had to do this, you'll understand how difficult it is. So I decided it was time to build something for patients, to pull their data from EHRs and have one consolidated view for them to take better care of themselves. So MyLinks is really built on 3 pillars, and this was from my experience. I wanted all my data. I wanted to understand my condition and know what can I do to get better, and am I going to die? The second thing I wanted to know was what are all the smart people doing about this? What are researchers doing about brain cancer and Alzheimer's and a lot of other things that we don't really have answers for? And I also wanted MyLinks to connect patients with each other. We're social people, and we really need to connect with each other. When I was diagnosed with kidney cancer, I sat down on my sofa, and the first thing I thought to myself is I really want to speak to another woman in Oklahoma City, where I live, who has kidney cancer. I want to talk to her. How has her life changed? Who did she find was good resources for her? So I had been watching FHIR for a while. We actually started MyLinks before FHIR, the idea of it. I told my team, let's build it, and then we'll figure out how to connect. Because at the time, we were having to use all the EHR's proprietary APIs and ways of connecting. So I watched FHIR from a distance, and I found it exciting, but a little hard to believe that all the EHRs would actually adopt a common API. So then we heard about the ONC contest, and we decided, okay, we're going to jump in. We're going to really try this out. And so we wanted to prove that one API could be used by all the EHR systems to pull data. And partially we wanted to prove it to ourselves and really celebrate with the whole community this is actually doable. So the ONC challenge was really a perfect way to encourage innovation using FHIR, and I really thank them for that. So now I'm going to pop over into a video that we have. Let's see if I can get to it. Let me minimize this. Is there anybody here that can tell me where this video can be found? You're going to do it for me? Nope, that's not it. Okay, let me try this. The desktop. How do I get to the desktop? I was told the video's on the desktop somewhere. Anybody here? it's on the desktop somewhere. Sorry, I thought this would be easier than actually logging into the... that's kind of, it's already started there, so yeah, I can back it up. Okay. So let me start this. So we built MyLinks. It is a cloud-based application, and we did it this way because every patient using any device could use it. We're also at the very end of building our Android device, and our Apple device will come on right after that. So we wanted to be very easy to use. The 4 most important buttons are on the bottom for a patient to view their health record and gather their health records, share their health records, and research is coming. So that's part's not there yet. So let me show you how a patient can view their health records. It's one view at the very beginning. A patient can see everything. And as you can see, Betty Barnes' name is at the top. We're viewing Betty Barnes' chart. But here on the left, you can see that she has access to her husband Larry's chart. If she had several children, they would be listed here. Really easy to switch between them. She's going to click on Larry's chart, and now you'll see Larry. But we're going to demo using Betty, so we're going to switch back to Betty. So if Betty wants to look deeper at her conditions, she can look at the details. She can see where this data came from, this here in the source, and when she pulled it in. The other information is more about the data that came from the EHR. And she can also add a condition, because a lot of times our records don't have everything about us. And when she adds a condition, the source will say self, so that you'll know what came from a health organization and what was entered by the patient. So data provenance is there. So let's talk about getting the health record. Betty can look at the previous access. If she's got several clinics she's been pulling data from, she'll be able to just simply drop open that box and pull that in, or she can type in a name, and all the clinics that match that name will come up. It'll even give a nice little GPS marker of where that is. So I'm just going to say, get my health record. And right here pops up the portal login, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this at the end. The patient simply logs in using their credentials. They say, I accept, and then the data comes in. On one side, you'll see what the existing conditions are. On the other side, you'll see all that's being pulled in and noted where there are possible duplicates. We default to not pull in a duplicate, but the patient can simply click on import, and it'll come in as well and just be noted that this came in from 2 organizations. So we're pulling in all of the common clinical data set. Now it's all nicely aggregated for Betty. So let me show you now a section that I really like. This is where the patient can really put all of their documents they want here. So it's not just what they pull in from their clinic, but anything that they feel is important that they might want to share with somebody, they can add to this. They can also view who they have shared this with, because I've got lots of children. I might not remember who I shared my advanced directive with or my medical records with. So clicking on the history shows me when I pulled this into MyLinks and who I shared it with and when I shared it. Another nice thing is the ability to view a CCD. We pull in CCDs when we pull in the FHIR data. CCDs do show more information than just structured FHIR data, so that's very handy. It's handy not only for the patient to see more information, but to be able to share that information. And we make it very easy for patients to share things. You simply click on what do you want to send, and click send. And here is where the patient can simply type in information. We allow a patient to get a secure direct address if they want to do things securely, or they can just send directly out of here. You can see that they can, all the documents are listed at the bottom. They can add more things from My Links, or they can pull something from their record. So they can also actually answer questionnaires. The doctors can send them something, and they simply click on it, and the data, the questionnaire comes up, they answer it, and then the provider has that information. The patient can also pull in and have a single dashboard for all of their devices, and this gives them the ability to just go to one place and see everything. There's multiple ways to share their records. The patient can say, I want to export my record. They can print it if they want to carry maybe their meds around, or they can send it. I really like this section. It gives a patient the ability to send a link to anyone, like maybe a telehealth, and the data is, the provider gets a link, clicks on it, and the patient gives them a 4-digit code, and now they have a 24-hour view-only access to that patient's health record, and the patient can at any time delete that link. This is really handy for consults and at telehealth. Also for our pharmacy visits too. This is where a patient would grant access to someone, and this is a share history. Everything I've shared, when I shared it, who I shared it with. We also have a journal here. Just it's a simple journal, but it's been found that patients do better when they're able to keep a journal. In the interest of time, I'm going to try to go back to my PowerPoint. Okay. All right, well, it's going backwards. Can you go back one? Okay, thank you. One of the things I was asked is to share where we see some barriers, and I think Steve talked about the first one earlier. We really need a consolidated FHIR endpoint for everybody in the FHIR community. Some EHR vendors are putting their FHIR endpoints out there, but some of them are not. The second is something that I don't know that there's been a lot of discussion about. I was at a very large health system yesterday. They have 3 EHRs. Only 2 of them, only one of them has the EHR and the portal that match. So the other 2 are really struggling with how to authenticate patients via the portal. And so they really asked for the knowledge-based verification. Let a patient go through the steps of identifying who they are by asking questions based on what's in the EHR. We have checked with the FHIR community. The technical ability to do this is there. There is a need out there, and also clinics want this. It'd be a great ONC challenge if they want to have something like that. But so this is something that I hope is going to be talked about, because this is a barrier to acceptance in clinics as well as by patients. Again, my name is Debi Willis. I would love to talk with you if you have any questions, and thank you.